So, sorry for a little later than normal. I was in Diablo 4 helping a friend. So, this season of Fallout 76, surprisingly, I didn't think. I kinda heard rumors of a special rework. Like, so, a lot of stuff has been static. Like, a lot of our stats, like hike through, got changed to 2, batteries included, got changed to 2. Now they moved. Someone explained to me why starch jeans is a fucking endurance. Not quite sure on that one. And a lot of buffs, like the cosmetics this season are good. Very enclave-ish, by the way. Kind of cool, actually. And there's a new weapon, the Tesla cannon. Now, I have been wanting the Tesla cannon for a long time. We Okay, anyone who doesn't know what the Tesla cannon is, it's that's a Fallout 3 weapon. But I'm going to go to my main character first. So, you know. So, mutated events are now standard. So, mutated events are now constant. There's a new raid. I guess they finally brought back the raids because, well, last time we had one, I think it was like Vault 96. I never got to do it. Like the Vault 96. Yeah, thank you. You fucked over my perks. I know you did. Thank you. Because, fucker. My camp can't be placed? Why? Seriously? Your shithole of a house, right? Fuck. It's fucking excuse me. You know what? Now that's a fucking first. I tell you that much. One day I do need to redesign this particular house. I gotta redesign this house. Because of reasons, but... There's a fucking camp just sitting over there. No, so... They screwed over... I call it screwing over, but... I'm gonna have to restat myself. So, the Tesla cannon, right, is in the season. Enclave is what it is. Meh. Now, what I am curious about, what's funny is we're gonna get... Looks good so far. That's gonna be funny. The water cooler? Yeah. That's gonna be good. Now, the big thing I am surprised that they have is the Tesla cannon. Right here. That thing is going to be fun. Now, I don't know how I feel about some of these others. I'm kinda surprised they didn't chunk in the, camp. What? I'm pretty sure the Tesla cannon isn't broken. But, oh, we also have pets. We now have pets. Call it fun. We have pets. It's gonna be great. We'll find out, though. So what are you up to, Ted, besides crying in the dark? Are you coping and seething that your game that you think's going to be good, that is not Diablo 4, Path of Exile, is good?
I mean, have you seen the gameplay showcase?
I've seen it. It's... Look, I would rather fucking play more Fallout. Need more fucking Diablo 4. But, also...
I thought it looked good, like...
You know what's gonna be funny? I'm not...
I like Path of Exile 1, so, like...
I'm gonna say this. Here's what's gonna happen. Everyone's gonna go, this game is good! And then all the player base is gonna drop off after 3 weeks.
I mean, that's the fate of ARPGs, so...
What do you mean? That's always the fate of...
drop by and then they leave.
Like,
That's what happens to a lot
Path of Exile, right? I've already heard they try to rework their stuff. And you hate Diablo 4, yet you'll play that.
I did not like Path of Exile 1.
But Path of Exile 2 looks right up your alley. I understand.
Because everything
Just
I
fine.
don't like about Path of Exile 1, they got rid of. Like, the passive skill tree that you couldn't reallocate skills or points, they added the reallocation, and I'm like, okay, now I can tolerate that system. It looks like they streamlined it too, so it's easier to understand. So I'm not like intimidated. And then
It's not as bad, and it's definitely not shittier than the Paragon system in Diablo 4.
Paragon system is horrible.
Well, to be fair, right? I know you hate it, and you're gonna go with the Bubble Tree. Now, I just look at it; it still looks at Diablo light. But let's be clear, right?
I just think, like, look, if they want the dumbed down, like, ARPG method, they had it with Diablo 3, and I liked it for that.
Well, to be fair, what's funny is a lot of people are shitting on Diablo 4, but Diablo 4 is a lot better, at least with Vessel of Hatred. No one's asking you to basically shove your dick in a grinder and get to 300. Now, Path of Exile always has the problem that the player base is always excited. Then they always do this, because it's a seasonal model, then they always fuck it up afterwards.
Okay.
Indeed.
I mean, I never played Path of Exile enough to even bother with the seasonal model.
See, you're lucky. I know of people who did. That burnout was real.
I just got intimidated by, like, what really killed my enthusiasm about playing it was, like, the passive skill tree opened up, and I felt like any decision I made was wrong, and I don't like that in a game, because, like, you know, you can't undo what you do with that passive skill tree.
I mean,
So
I get it.
It bothered me.
I mean, I get it. I think people usually dislike a lot of that. And
I hate locking in a choice, like, especially with ARPGs. I feel like allocation's important, like reallocating.
Yeah.
It's a quality of life that is needed.
Hey, you know what's funny? Because you played the old Fallout. You played like Fallout 3, right?
Yeah, I did not like it though.
So, guess what we got in Fallout 76, Edward? Or Ted?
What?
The Tesla cannon. This season.
That's good.
Definitely not. It's very Enclave based this season. But I'm actually surprised. I'm not surprised they brought the Tesla cannon over. I'm just curious what it does.
I just think, like, I don't know.
To be fair, right? Like, a lot of stuff, I gotta reallocate points. I mean, Fallout 70, they decided to do the stealth nerf of moving, like, starch genes and things to endurance and stuff like that, and then they reallocated like points. That's why a lot of us have like extra things. Apparently, like my rad resistance is going to be. Where the chief complaint right now is everyone's like, what'd you do to our special stats? Well, I could figure this one out. Basically, ordnance, you know. By the way, yeah, I'm still waiting on the update from when they finally decide to update, give us the Dark Angel stuff. They did say it's going to be like mid-December, though. But they're trying to, like... Because we knew the endurance meta. A lot of us in Fallout 76 were ahead of us, the endurance meta.
I just don't understand the whole...
What?
I kind of liked the Fallout 4 ARPG model, but I guess, like, they wanted to adjust it a little bit so that you can reallocate or something.
Well, we can reallocate. No one ever says we can't. I mean,
I just find it weird, the whole card system.
The card system is not bad, but it's like,
Yeah,
I
not
get it.
bad.
I get it, like, I get it, like, I'll say this. Like, there's a lot of cards that they took down, like, that were, like, 3. Like, batteries included was always a 3 of. So, basically, what happens is, like, a lot of our... Best way I can put it is, a lot of our stuff, like, if we carry a lot of fusion batteries, or energy weapons... Man, that shit will eat us alive and wait. But it also means they're trying to tell people you need to have more endurance. But at the same time, it's like you can't tell us, like, you know, it... To be fair, though, like, I play on Bane. I play on, a lot of my characters prior have Secret Service armor, so... It's not a huge change either in balance, either. It's like, it's just weird. A lot of weapon redesign, too. Yeah. Like, it's... Well, supposedly they worked on the VFX, but I can already tell they reallocated stuff. But I also knew that they were coming for the explosion VFX, because... the explosive meta was predicted. And it's funny watching the players. They're like, well, don't blow corpses away with explosives. I'm sorry if I like my nuke grenades. You can play with your single-shot rifles all day. Anyways.
It's like the Space Marine grenade meta.
I'm just... You love that PvP too much. That PvP is trash, and we all know it. It's all one-shot shenanigans, and definitely doesn't have hackers. I thought you knew this.
Oh dear. Did it make you mad?
I don't like... I've done it, it just doesn't sell me. So you could,
I just like the unbalanced gameplay. It just...
it's all...
I hate all these, competitive games that try and do a balanced system. Like, I want some casual fun.
Oh yeah, yes. It's all fun and games until you get stuck with a tarded team that literally...
Yeah, you have to re-roll your team. If your team is ass, re-roll immediately.
Like,
you cannot... Because, like, if they lose once, they're going to lose again. It's guaranteed to happen.
oh yeah, you're in the same pool,
Yeah,
and
you just
they
re-roll your team and you're good.
because I could tell you, and I'm not playing, and I also hate the crossplay in that, because the crossplay for that game needs a lot of work.
I didn't have issues with it. Like,
I'm
my
sorry,
only
I,
issue is because
I'm.
like I had a controller,
Uh huh.
so like my controller doesn't turn as effectively as someone would a mouse.
Uh
Because like
huh.
the guys with jetpacks that they'll jump up and you have to like look up, and I'm a little slow on that because
And you're talking
the
about the
power.
people who basically play on Taco Bell Wi-Fi that should not be allowed anywhere near
I
gaming.
don't know why you're having internet issues with that.
I don't have internet issues. I.
Okay, so but like the games that you're playing, I do not experience.
What do you mean that they don't have a? You've never come across and tried to shoot somebody who has Taco Bell Wi-Fi?
What do you mean like Taco Bell Wi-Fi? Because like I don't think I've ever had someone teleport on me or like do do some crazy shit.
I have. You are unlucky. I've played, but I come from playing Destiny PvP and such. Like, I guess it's fine if you can just like, yo-yo around the world and never have issues. Ooh, they definitely did the UI upgrade. Oh, they have a fire upgrade in now. Indeed.
I guess I gotta count my blessings, right?
Right. I don't have to shoot the guy that somehow still hits me, even though he's 10 feet away from me. Understandable. Yeah. It works normal. This is how this. It's entirely normal. Huh. Actually, the UI in Fallout 76 looks good. Believe it or not. The actual UI, they actually did work to it. It's smooth.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Yeah. To be fair, I think there. I mean, there's only so much they can do to this game in reality. But a lot of it's like this is an MMO, right? I mean, the armor system. Like, I would prefer to have the power fantasy. We still can do it in reality.
That's probably why I don't like it. Is I don't like MMOs.
It's fine in the term of it. I just hate the whole fact that they stick us with. We got the Fallout 3 or New Vegas power armor. I'm like, can we upgrade power armor to like Mark 4 and stuff? Because why is it when I feel like I'm in power armor? Like, it's like basic weapons they actually improved as well. They basically took a lot, like, and I'm not saying I think it needed it. Like, there was a rebalance though from like. Then again, what do we have? A lot of people already are like super advanced in this game, so like a lot of us have been. I literally run on the same weapons I have been having for a while. Like, you have to adjust these things. Really. Oh. No, but yeah.
I'll tell you though, I'm gonna play the mercenary character for sure.
What do you mean? You're gonna play? You're gonna love Path of Exile. They get simp for it. You should. You might as well.
I'm gonna go for that witch hunter ascendancy and go for a mercenary.
Uh huh. I can understand that.
That's my vibe. Unless like they do a gunpowder class.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna cop that too.
Right. Then you're gonna say, well, the Paragon system. This is as bad as Diablo 4. It's gonna tap out. Like
You know why I hate it, right? It's like the issue I have with it is a passive skill tree, a Paragon system, or a Devotion system. It doesn't replace leveling. It should never replace leveling up. And Diablo kind of does that, and I don't like that.
I still hate how the super mutant behemoths can just one-shot you with a fucking rock. I have Vanguard, mostly Vanguard Secret Service armor. And you're fucking telling me I get one-shotted by a fucking rock.
Yes.
Fuck
It's
her.
literally a boulder.
Fuck right off. Okay. Vanguard armor is the strongest armor you can have in this game.
Is it power armor?
Like, Vanguard Secret Service is one of the absolute strongest. Like, it should not have this issue. But that's okay.
The rock.
It's okay, though. It's just gay like it does.
Bro didn't like getting taken down by Dwayne.
What?
Dwayne. Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
You still talk about it.
You got taken out by Dwayne.
No, it's your standard super mutant behemoth. That's what it is.
Yeah, Dwayne.
See, part of the problem in this game is we don't have any helmet armor. Basically, apparently, the day this game decides to do this, I feel better.
Oh, they gave me a spin attack. Okay.
But it's weird, like, how, like, if you think about it, that certain stuff is still really strong. Like, hike through, that type stuff. Like, the big weapon meta has been a thing for a while. It's a big the big weapons, I'm just very curious what the damn thing, the Tesla cannon does in this game. Because I know what it does in every other game. It's definitely going to be good.
Speaking about Bethesda a lot, I heard their DLC was a failure.
What? The Starfield one?
Yeah.
Starfield, it's not good, but it's not bad.
Yeah, but I think people are really hurt by, like, the launch of Starfield and, like, didn't want to revisit it. I think, like,
Well,
you know, mediocrity is a bad return to Starfield when people feel like the base game was mediocre to begin with.
What hurts that game out of everything is actually mostly the fact that every game is meant to feel unique, but it doesn't.
It feels generic, heavily generic. Yeah.
The random generation fucks over the mods.
I don't think it is that, though, because, like, my understanding is that the generation stays roughly the, like, they did it to generate the worlds and make them generic, but they're the same worlds for every person.
I've heard of somebody who didn't have that. So, multiple people, so take it for what it's worth. Now...
Maybe, like, they generated the world, but, like, the generation code is so shitty that the worlds are, like, buggy or something.
Well, pre-generation, there's nothing against pre-generation. Like, I wouldn't put anything against pre-generation. Nah, it's in Fallout 76. We don't have like power armor. To me, doesn't feel like power armor. Like they redid the bartering perk because we used to use hard bargain. Now it's just a one perk that gives us like 7, like charisma when dealing with vendors. It's like, well, sure. Who the fuck uses Lone Wanderer? Literally nobody. But
Almost like you're a weird solo player.
well, in reality, we are all playing in teams, so like a lot of us.
It's literally the I don't have friends perk.
Oh yeah, it's the meme perk if you're solo, but like it for the most part, unless you're on a server with weird douchey people, there's always a public team to join. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's always a public team. Doesn't change.
Did they add in the Dark Angel armor yet?
No, not into there. No.
Sad.
I am going to have to actually. I don't know what's taking them so long on that.
Their art team must be busy with something.
I mean, look. I try to get like Renown to go play like that, but he's been busier doing other stuff. Like I just explored the season, like definitely a game smoother. I don't mind it. It's like something's up here though. But like a lot of this though is like I found like certain games are fine. Like I think I'll honestly go buy the new class in like Inquisitor before I play Path of Exile 2. That's really sad. I almost actually bought the Vermintide 2 skin. The Vermintide 2 Necromancer stuff.
I mean, that's up to you.
That's still a weird game. That game is still good though. Now,
I like it. The,
Vermintide.
Vermintide 2. Yeah. The progression is so much better than Dark Souls. Or not Dark Souls, Dark Tide.
I don't think I ever played the Necromancer though. That was like the last class for Sienna.
I think you'd like it.
Have you?
No, but like, if you like Diablo Minion Master, it's like that with an FPS.
Well, no. Okay, no. You're playing as her twin sister. How dare you?
I thought that they made some bullshit lore saying like, oh, she's actually a necromancer in this alternate setting or whatever.
Well, look, we all know
'Cause,
why
like,
Vermintide careers
the
are.
pseudo lore, to my understanding, is like each career path is a path that the characters could have gone down, except for Corellian, which is like just bullshit regardless.
What? She's not a night elf, or
She's 3 different ethnicities. She's a dark elf, a wood elf, and a high elf. There is no way that you
Yeah.
can get for that. I think it's funny as fuck, but like.
It's terrible lore-wise.
But it works for the game, and gameplay is more important.
What do you mean? Like, you don't like the Chad Grail Knight?
The Grail Knight's awesome.
Right.
My cousin loves playing him.
No, we all know the base path.
What? Hunter?
The Hunter or the Pikeman. The basic bitch period guards, not guardman.
Mercenary?
What the fuck do they call him? Is it mercenary or is it the
There's a
city? What do they call that?
Foot Knight and Grail Knight.
What is it? Foot Knight? Yeah, Foot Knight's the basic
Foot
bid.
Knight's actually a good class.
It is though. It is.
But my favorite thing as the Foot Knight is the fact that you can push the bosses off the map with them. And it'll instantly kill those bosses.
Ilgoth, don't worry about the defense. It's gonna happen if there's one Violent Knight's up, by the way. So, yes. I do like, I guess they finally, with mutated events, it always happens, but we still have to have Fallout first. By the way, some of us that have Fallout first, I mean, it's like, not so bad. I mean, mutated events are always really good on plans, but to be fair, I think the average player in this game is either an old man or they play with their kids. I've only run into ever a few toxic assholes who ever play this game. But for the most part, this is still turning into Fallout 4. Like, this is turning into Fallout 4 multiplayer. It's still where it's going to be. It's hard to believe they're on 19 seasons. Which I can't believe it. Actually, I am sorry, I can believe it. Honestly. But the raid will be funny. Fucking, that's toxic. You pieces of shit. Toxic, really. Nah, but I use Secret Service armor, though. I kind of wish I had Secret Service armor on my other stuff before they rework a legendary system. I mean, to be fair, they they ruined the whole, it's not the script system, but they ruined the, getting mods. The mod scam is really bad in Fallout. Like, the searching, they literally created a whole, sub-economy now when you need certain legendary perks. And most people can't afford Vanguard. No, I'll wait and see. We should just probably try the Dark Angel one whenever that happens with Space Marine 2. Now, I'm surprised, though. You aren't going to go all out for, what is it? You're not going to... I'm surprised you're not all over the Indiana Jones game.
Bro, that game is gonna be ass.
It's going to be Data War. How dare you?
It looks horrible. You've seen the gameplay, right?
I have seen it, yes. I have seen it.
It's a pseudo-stealth game.
It's a movie game. It looks like... I mean, granted, I want to know how close to Uncharted it's going to be.
Like, someone basically was saying, like 70% of their gameplay experience when they did the demo playthrough was stealthing around.
You don't get to punch Nazis? Come on.
I'd rather gun the Nazis down.
Yes. See...
But the punching Nazis will be a ha-ha funny for like 5 seconds after you fought your first fist fight, and then you're just gonna be done with it after.
It's gonna be Data War, okay?
It's not going to be Data War, because at least Data War is like trying to be like this pseudo slow-paced combat system. It's not gonna have much of a combat system. It's gonna have you rely more on stealth.
I've heard that it's pretty funny, though. Nah, aren't you? No, I'd say, too. if you're not working the 12th, I mean, I'm gonna have people on stream. Would you want to go watch the Game Awards and do a reaction, or you don't care enough?
I'm probably not gonna watch it live, cause like.
We have a hacker here, because someone decided to poop bottles out of their ass. I suspect this guy's cheating. This never happened. Yes, I do. It looked like he pooped a lot of items out of his ass. Yeah. This does not happen. This is a wholesome game that no one ever cheats or uses bots. Ever. Or trainers, for that matter. Oh yeah, no, there's a guy, like, yeah, there's literally... Yeah, this happens quite frequently in this game. Oh yeah, there was a guy at one point I came across in a server that was pooping out, like, weapons or legendaries. Everyone started being around him. And then he realized, oh shit, that he started pooping out gold bricks and some shit. Rare resources. We're like, oh, you didn't realize you were using a trainer? We learned quickly.
It just sounds like it's gonna be cringe.
I don't know.
Like,
it's funny.
As, actors.
Oh, it's always the case, though. It's kind of like there is no such thing as duplication in this game. I thought you knew. I mean, why do you think duplication, they'll never get it out of the game? They just find it, and there's still people who have legacy weapons in the game. I still have mine. I just never use them. I have to actually... See, Ordnance got taken down to a 2. Bandolier. It really fucked up my stuff, though. Like... They did. It's like... Scrounger... Super Duper still gonna be in luck. Evasive was a 1. They just changed that to a flat 1. They made hike through. It's all a mess. Search Genes went down to a 1 because they realized we all play with mutations. God forbid. Imagine playing Fallout 76 without mutations. Oh man. That would not ever be a thing. But I'm halfway tempted to try Inquisitor again. But I would play that seriously before I play I'd play that before I play the other one. Or Sprinter.
Inquisitor for what?
I'd play that before I fucking played the other one.
Are you like saying like Path of Exile versus
I'd rather play I would play God, I'd probably dude. I'd ask you on that regard, right? The idea, like, maybe I could re-edit my special without having any issues. Yeah, a lot of people logged in today and realized they fuck with people's special stats. You can fuck with weapons, but fucking with people's specials, that is a bad issue. The basic stuff we use to be able to walk around the world without weighing 1,000 pounds. Because apparently, Bethesda kind of forgot how Fallout. Oh yeah, that's right. They changed natural resist too. By the way, it's this weird shit of they. It's like so vaccinated got changed to a 1. So quality of life cards got changed. Like, it's so fucking weird. It's like, they want to shove everything into endurance, and I can kinda understand why. Like, increased elemental resistance is based on endurance, while not diseased. Yeah. That card is now useless. Because... why? We walk around... You know how easy it is to catch a disease in this game? Huh. Fucking hell, go fucking fight one dog and we'll get it. But, what can I say?
There's diseases in Fallout 76?
Oh yeah, we literally walk around with... Like, yeah, act like people... Like... I don't even fucking care. Diseases? Yeah? Jesus, we've had that full...
Sounds cringe.
Like... What?
Sounds like some shit they would pull in Kingdom Come.
No, you just can't be good at that game. That's why you get mad.
No, I just find it boring.
No, you don't.
Like, I think I got to the archery shit and I was like, this shit... And maybe a little bit after, and then I was like, this shit sucks. And
well, see, I know when I play that, apparently it's a 2-hour prologue, so...
Yeah, that prologue is horrible.
God, that's gonna be interesting.
So it was already testing my patience on it, and I just, like, hit a point where I was just like, yeah, I'm not interested in continuing this.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny. Oh yes, the Lone Wanderer perk. It's capped at 2. No one uses it. Look, travel agent, right? It's a hard bargain, yeah. So basically, right? We all know it. It's like, it's funny how that works. But batteries included is a 1. And it's gone down to a 2. Basically, they're like, well, if you're going to use it anyways, that makes sense. Because they don't anticipate us, who, since all of us are on big weapon builds, we carry around 76 fusion batteries. Huh, wonder why. Now, the real question I have to ask you is, are you going to see Moina 2? I hear it's great and crashing the box office.
Let me see, I think that's what my sister wants me to watch with her,
Ha ha! I knew it. I knew it.
Let me see.
Moina? Yeah. Apparently it's breaking the box office, so take it for what it's worth. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, Monana.
Yeah, the first one didn't.
No, it looks like I'm not. They want Sonic 3 instead.
Oh, you're lucky. Well, okay, the funny thing about that film, supposedly that was the #1 streamed film. And, that's like the #1 streamed film on Disney Plus.
#1 streams down the Disney Plus. Well, that's horrible for them. Like, that means that's a bunch of people who could have gone to the movies and paid Disney extra.
No, apparently it was, so, Again, it could have been like the Avatar experience, where people like Avatar. It's a beautiful film, but then you realize it's probably dog shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, you're just happy because Sonic uses the gun. I mean, Shadow's gonna have a gun. That's why. By the way, I've never seen anyone ever use bullet shield, which I think is funny. I've never seen anyone ever use that.
You need a random name to just throw on a character, and you just get a generator up.
Oh. Random name. Really?
Yeah, why not? I don't want to make up a name. I hate making names for characters.
Why? Be creative.
I've already been more than creative enough. I got like 7 names down. I'm done. And and the first name I thought of was probably gonna be kind of racist, so I'm kind of trying to avoid the intrusive thoughts. Like I was
And
thinking
here I thought you were gonna be Adam something, sir.
No, I was like thinking, oh, I gotta make a necromancer shaman. Let's go with Shaniqua. No, that's probably a bad idea.
Wow. You are borderline racist. Actually, that kind of fucked up my agility when they did.
Your Final Fantasy 14 random name generation.
No, you know what? Choose the name of the necromancer from Dragon Age Veilguard. There you go. He's not straight.
Which from Dragon Age?
From Dragon, the one.
Oh, not the trans. I ain't doing no trans names. Fuck that.
No, he's just like an ambiguous poly old man. How dare you? Yeah, pharmacist got taken down to
Your barbarian names. That's it. Let's see.
You're just trying to be like. You don't want to have that native people problem day, I guess.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do rude.
Wow. See, that's not creative at all. That is not. Are you, Mo?
It doesn't have to be creative. It has to not be racist so people don't question.
I'm chilling.
There we go.
Look. You don't want to watch. You don't want to watch Jeff Keighley, like, lie and give all the awards to DLC. Come on.
We all know it is gonna go to that DLC though.
No, Joystick Awards was
I know it was
Black-
Helldivers, which was the bad
no
one, too.
Black Myth Wukong went to them.
I thought Joystick Awards gave it to Helldivers 2 Game of the Year.
Well, to be fair, how to fuck your community over in a year is if you want Helldivers 2. Let's be clear. I have a feeling.
I just think like Helldivers 2 has no sense of diversity in its like missions. All of it just like meshes into some generic.
You're not telling me. there's plenty of diversity in Starship Troopers mixed with 40k. No, it's like 40k. Really?
I would not say 40k for Helldivers. It's like, 40k takes itself seriously. Helldivers takes the piss on at itself.
Oh,
Unless
so it's
you
Van
really
Hoven.
believe Adam something,
So
you
it's
think
Van Hoven's Starship Troopers. I understand.
Starship Troopers, like, to my understanding, the book was serious, right? But not the
Film.
not the movie.
Yes. It's not good. Yeah.
Have you heard of RTU since like his like drama?
Why do I care what that man does? Not really. I mean,
You'll find this funny then.
okay.
So so like basically his he took a video of himself masturbating and it got leaked. And his baby mama's daughter, not related to him, but like, one of the daughters who she had from a different man she had an affair with. Someone sent them that video, and Richard got banned from Thanksgiving. And he lives in his parents' house. So the mental images are fucking hilarious, because like, imagine you come out of the basement to get a drink of water or something, and then your like dad tells you, get the fuck back into the basement, Richard. You're not spending Thanksgiving with us.
Well, I'll believe that about as much as I'll believe the Nick Fuentes tape. Supposedly. You heard about that?
No, it actually did get leaked. Like, it's a real thing.
What, the Nick Fuentes Destiny thing?
I don't know about that. I'm talking about the RTU stuff, though. It did happen.
Well, he is a lolcow. I mean, you gotta understand, he is a lolcow, so he...
He's a fucking idiot, too.
Well, he's part of the lolcows that fell. What are you talking about? It's the other.
Like, what was it? The whole Betty situation where he tried to invite a prostitute to his home, right?
Kinda, yeah.
His parents' home.
I don't know. Look, man, there's a point when he became so bad. Like, look, RTU has literally been, like, a portable, like, I wouldn't even, beyond the worst lolcow. He's bad.
Yeah, I think he's worse than DSP at this point.
DSP is bad, but
But
DSP
DSP's getting better. His trajectory is going up, whereas RTU's like falling to a darker void.
Yes.
Like, what's happening to RTU is sad, and it's kind of funny, but like, he is doing worse, and it's horrible for him.
Well, somehow DSP is a human cockroach that survives. Quite literally, by the way.
He can take the piss at himself and make it into a funny. RTU cannot do that to save his life.
Huh.
But like, just imagine getting banned from from Thanksgiving by your family,
That's just weird.
and you're just stuck in the basement having to just not interact with anybody.
Well, it's more funny if he really did live in the basement of his parents. That's actually fucked up.
He was like, for the longest time, he was claiming he owned the house, but apparently it was a technicality. Like, apparently his parents bought the house, but under his name or something. So he's been like stroking his ego about how he owns the house.
can see that. It could be really bad. I mean...
And he, like, lives in the basement of that house. So it's like, you know, parents got the master bedroom.
Look, I know someone who's really close to that. Like, stories about him, I just kind of not pay attention.
That's fair. I just thought it was funny.
It's funny how they changed vaccinated to be based on... It's what they changed in the game. It's kind of like natural endurance, right? Got changed to as long as you're not diseased. So, like, the idea... And I guess they got tired. Look, they're trying to actually solve the issue with... bloody builds are still a thing. They want people off the bloody build meta, but I mean the only way that's ever going to happen is if they ever fucking just get rid of it. But the good thing is they freed up a bunch of... By freeing up luck and portions of agility, we can do more now. It's just dumping into endurance was not in a lot of our cards. But I'm actually surprised it took them this long to give us the ability to have a dog or a cat in our camp. But to be fair, most of our camps are cluttered areas, so... Yeah. But yeah, be thankful though. You didn't have to go see the Polynesian God film, you know? The first film never enticed me in the first place.
I've never seen the first film.
Me neither.
I always thought it was stupid, just like all this crap about virtue signaling different ethnicities. So I never bothered watching it.
I don't think that's what it was about. It's like ultimately you know he's like a god. Like it's about a girl that encounters a Polynesian god, basically. And then she does like these things. So apparently the movie, the second one, was meant to be a TV series that they broke off and they rushed it into a film. Okay.
Regardless, it's still an uninteresting movie. Like, isn't the conflict like really fucking boring too?
I might watch it for free when it gets to streaming, though.
Like, wasn't it like something about nature going, like, having something bad happen to it and she has to go, like, fix a god or something?
It sounded about right, but without saying it. I mean, but for a kid's film, I mean, I'm pretty sure I know you're not old enough. Do you remember the Atlantis film?
Yeah, that was based.
Based?
Yeah, I liked it.
What about...
The bad guy who's trying to, like, chop up the main characters. I liked him.
Now, what about El Dorado?
El Dorado? Isn't that like the Jamestown movie?
No, that was the Hunt for the City of El Dorado by Disney. where a bunch of people they found it, but you know.
It sounds like it was from a time when Disney was big, so I'd give it a shot.
Mm. Now, would you give Acolyte a shot?
I don't know what that is.
Star Wars: The Acolyte.
Oh God, no, no.
I was actually watching Greg Owen, like he's done like a full deep dive series into.
I don't even watch content shitting on it because I don't
No, what
like
it
the
is apparently. So take it for what it's worth. I've actually had people tell me that she did nothing wrong. Lindsay Hedlund.
I don't even know what she did, to be honest.
So there's a myth about her. So apparently she was nowhere. She was Harvey Weinstein. So
Oh no.
she was Harvey Weinstein's personal assistant.
Oh dear.
She knew nothing
Bullshit.
about the casting couch culture. So,
Bull fucking shit.
and yeah, so
Of course she didn't know.
so
Isn't that convenient?
yeah, so one of my people who covers movies goes, she wouldn't know. She was just an assistant. She didn't know anything about what was happening with Harvey Weinstein. Understandable.
Yeah, and I got my dick cut off, right?
Apparently, around '08 and stuff, she had issues with she apparently had issues with.
You know, how the fuck does someone like that get around and then like they ruin Kevin Spacey's career off of a allegation lie?
Kevin Spacey is still weird though.
Okay, but like the allegations against him was false and now he's going bankrupt. It's just kind of sad. This Me Too movement stuff, like it just makes you not want to target the people who actually deserve getting that treatment, and then the people who don't get it.
Me Too started off as honest, but it got very dishonest.
Yeah, but like at this point now, I just gotta say, whenever someone gets raped, or allegedly, that, you know, they should have had a rape kit. It's just sad.
I mean, I remember though, early Me Too. I mean, Me Too was okay till about. I mean, hell, I remember when Rose McGowan was like one of the first ones to come out with that.
You gotta prove it though. Like you know, 10 years after is not an acceptable excuse to throw allegations at someone. You need proof.
You say this, but
But what?
you say this, but they do it. I mean, yeah, look at it. It's like Trump's shit.
I'm pretty sure that in the Me Too movement, it's like it was people talking 10 years after the whole ordeal.
I mean, if you go off of it, it was what? Harvey Weinstein was warned. They warned about him pretty early on, but endurance. I'm going to be a house.
I guess if you're talking about the Harvey Weinstein, they did provide proof, but I don't really consider that part of the Me Too movement all that much.
What, Harvey Weinstein?
Mm-hmm.
You could say it wasn't. Oh. What's that one?
I just think the whole situation's sad, though. Like, but trust is I think it was like in people's good nature to trust by default,
Yeah.
but it gets taken advantage of so easily.
Well, if you go off of what Elon Musk said, all women and Hollywood stars are blackmailed.
They are blackmailed.
Yeah. To a degree. I mean, even if you go back, if you asked your grandfather about Marilyn Monroe, Ray Donovan, the show, was based on the fixer who was around MGM Studios at the time, and then like a mix of a modern guy.
There's this whole idea too of just like, they do it for sexual favors. Like, they'll do sexual favors for a chance to get into key positions.
Pretty much. I might offend people who see stuff later that I do, but we've always known about casting couch culture. I mean, it's just a question of, only if they can drop the... See, if you're gonna drop... Here's my thing. You're gonna drop starch jeans down to 1, drop class freak down to 1. Jesus. Because those two cards are the most commonly used ever. Actually, that really fucks with my, V.
Puddles are absolutely broken in this game.
Puddles?
Yeah.
Now, what would I say if I wanted you to play Divinity 2 with me, or Divinity Campaign?
No, thank you.
No?
It was bad enough playing the Baldur's Gate Baldur's Gate game with you. I play too fast, you read too long. It's just not a good mix.
But Divinity 2 is all suffering. Divinity is suffering for everybody. You gotta
Actually sit your ass down and read this shit, and I won't.
No, you just are gonna be mad because you're gonna go sit and walk on a puddle and not realize electrifying a water pool, sir. Oh god, that game's autistic.
But like, why would we play that? Like I remember our Baldur's Gate game, and that did not go well at all.
Okay, here's the problem.
Suffering, and I was the one that ended up suffering.
Look, you have no idea. I've heard horror stories about, like... Okay, Divinity... So, Arch has done 2 playthroughs of Divinity. Like, either one got shelved, first one got deleted, the other one got shelved, supposedly. But that game is from Larian Studios a long time ago. That's like, if there is a water puddle, you can electrify the water puddle. Like...
Wait, is this like Divinity Sin 1 or 2? Because I only...
Like Sin. I guess Sin, original. I think both have it. But it's like a long-ass game.
The second one has it, but it's pretty young, all things considered. Like only like I think 8 years from Baldur's, maybe.
What, Divinity 2?
Yeah,
Like,
because
it's
the graphics are good for it. It's like a 2014 game or 2016.
yeah.
It has good graphics, for what it's worth.
I don't think anyone's ever said it doesn't have bad graphics, though.
No, I just mean, like, I just don't think it be that old. Like, I wouldn't call it old, personally. When I think old, I think, like, I don't know, Titan Quest.
You're all over that one. You are. You. Mm, you have a lot of. You like that game too much, man.
It's good. I like it.
Uh huh. Really?
The progression's good, too.
How do you like the progression system in Space Marine?
I don't like it.
How do you like it? We can progress weapons faster than we can do the other.
That I don't like it. Like,
What? We gotta do 30 like high missions and get told to get good that we don't do shit when we're trying to level shitty weapons by some shitbag on
I
console.
don't care about some shitbag on console. I just think, like, bro, you have to seriously no-life the fuck out of that game in order to grind all your weapons. Like, you can get, like, all your characters to level 30. That's the easy part.
Oh yeah.
The idea that you have to grind the fuck to get the weapons on par is just insane.
Yeah. You gotta grind the weapons.
It's just stupid.
I mean, what? You don't like the idea of it? No.
I don't. For obvious reasons.
Now. So. Aha. So you are going to go. You're not going to go back and play like. Okay, stabilize. Yes. I need one-man army.
Go back and play what?
No, I know you.
No.
I know you're gonna go back and play Helldivers too. It's a matter of time till they have you back.
Maybe. Who knows? I thought I would play that game a lot, but I ended up playing it very little, all things considered.
Wow, that's
It's like my friends wanted me to play it, cause like to me, like I played the like I hit the point where you got the gear right in the call-ins, but now you gotta grind for the special items that you use to upgrade. And you have to run the higher difficulties. And I don't like running the higher difficulties, because when you run the higher
you even hated
difficulties,
min-maxing. Every time I try to play a game with you, I always know if it requires min-maxing, you hate it. Literally. You hate min-maxing.
I like stumbling in the dark a lot.
You like getting one-shotted and doing shit. It's like, then you go, what, why did I fall over dead? I don't know. What did you do wrong? Me, I build sometimes too defensive.
Yeah.
My own fucking good.
Well, in Grim Dawn, I'll get one-shotted a lot, and...
Uh-huh. There you go. There
When
you
I say
go.
that,
Uh-huh.
I need to get good gear for my dude, because, like, I rolled horribly on my gear. I kept getting necromancer shit, and I'm like, I need something
Uh-huh.
for my Inquisitor, occultist, and and
I hear
it
excuses.
kept giving me non-Inquisitor shit, and
I
I
hear
needed Inquisitor
excuses.
shit. The so my whole build, which I need the gear for specifically, is where I gun down the thing that's trying to kill me before it guns me down. So I'm heavy on the offensive. And then I have an Inquisitor shield that gives me some damage absorption on, like, you just place on the ground. And that's supposed to sustain me armor-wise. And I'll get one-shotted either because, like, my resistances aren't there, because my gear needs to get adapted, and I've min-maxed the best I could, but I'm not rolling the gear I need. Like, I'm like, I need to be 80% on all the resistances, and I'm 40 on poison and 30 on bleed. And when I encounter any of those two resistance or those damage types, I get, like, raped.
Oh. Oh, I just had to go murder a fucking super mutant that was apparently shooting me from near the train station. A mile away. I'm behind a wall and through like an open like security door. Apparently the AI thought he could try to fire at me. I was like, why am I... It sounded like a bullet grazed me. And I go over and I look, it's just a super mutant AI trying to sniper fire me with an assault rifle that they use from like a mile away. And I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, some of this AI, I never, like, they want us to have different stuff. Like, I'll be all for it, like, the day that they literally just... Ghouls and super mutants are still the world's biggest assholes and cunts in this game. Far tougher than they need to be.
But you can explain what you can understand what I mean. It's like,
oh, I know what you mean. Look. I understand. I'll try to min-max my characters because I don't like being squishy, and I'll either spend the time to do it, but once a build's in place, it's usually godlike once those stats are in place.
yeah, and if I just roll and get the fucking pistol I need, I'll be set for life. Cause like there's a pistol that does elemental damage. I've already stacked as much elemental damage as I possibly could. Like it's like somewhere between 1,500 to 1,800. Like that's where my elemental damages are about. So I've stacked them sufficiently, but my pistol does chaos damage, so it can't make use out of it. But it's the only pistols I have. So I have to rely on my skills, not my default attack. And it's a spam gun class. And then, like, it would further buff the damage and increase the attack speed so I could make even more use out of my skills.
Yeah.
So... And then... I just need a better balance of resistances. There's way too many classes that give you there's way too many gears that give you elemental resistance, and I've capped it out by now.
I see that.
Right now I'm trying to achievement farm for the pet spam class achievement, which is have 18 pets around.
So you just want to be a Karen, or like
a Karen?
Not a Karen, but one of those God, what is it? What's gonna come to me? One of the women who have like a bunch of cats.
I guess it'd be a cat mom. It is a female character. The cat mom army. The good thing I didn't go with Shaniqua as a name.
Wow. You're totally not racist. I understand.
Yeah, I promise you, I've never used a racial slur in my life.
You never called Quad short.
What?
You've never called the Quad a midget. I understand.
Oh, I promise you, if I meet a midget, I'd laugh at his face.
What?
Before I say a word, I'd laugh at a midget's face. Like, I couldn't stop laughing when I heard that a paraplegic was put on charges of battery.
Well, that's not as good as the Karen I heard that pulled on pulled on a girl's skirt, like had a short skirt in a bar or like in a restaurant, and she got charged with battery. They're trying to charge her with sexual battery. Like, oh, that's a weird turn of events.
Nah, that's not as funny as the paraplegic though. Like that's someone who can't move their arms or legs, and they somehow get put on battery. Like the fuck.
Wow.
Apparently, he was trying to ram his scooter into the cops as they were arresting his mom.
Oh, see, that's the funny thing about battery charges. You can just collect those easy. That's like a ticketable offense.
But they like you in the news like video like covering it. Like they end up picking the dude up and taking him out of his chair. And I think they put him in the cop car. But like they bitch carried him into the cop car, and I'm telling you, I would have just like taken him 3 acres down this like 3 blocks down the street and have him crawl back to his
I mean, okay.
crawl back to his scooter.
I'm just saying. By the way, I don't know if I would charge him with battery on that. I mean, the man's already got it.
Spit at them. Like, he was just, like,
that's why he got charged with battery. He'd be thinking.
So he like rammed his cart at them 2 times and spit at them. But he promised he was trying to spit at the ground.
Okay, understandable.
He totally didn't like spit at them. You have to believe him.
I mean, I just want you to understand. How do you feel about being insulted? Now, do you know what a nugget is?
A chicken nugget?
A nugget.
Just grounded up chicken.
A nugget. No?
No, I'm not familiar with the slang.
A quadriplegic person.
I guess that would.
That looks like a chicken nugget.
That would make. Yeah, I
Get
guess
it?
that
Get
makes
it?
sense.
It's horrible. Don't Google that.
Bro.
Like imagine, imagine being a cop and have to deal with a drunk or deranged vet that was a quadriplegic or something. Jesus. No, I just think that's weird, being rammed by a motorized scooter. That's like, okay.
He was just looking for a fight. He was acting tough. I'm like, I would have bitch carried him 3 blocks down and had him crawl back to his scooter.
We're not in the Judge Dredd, like, system. I mean, that's just cruel and unusual that you're going to be saying. You basically are taking advantage of somebody who's special ed.
Bro, he was looking for a fight. Fuck him. Like, just because you're basically crippled doesn't mean you have a right to interfere with the cop's job.
Oh, you're one of those. Wow.
What, cops deal with more than enough. in my personal opinion.
I think I like the looks of this one better. Yeah, but no, this build is a demo character at heart. It started initially off as a demo character, though. You would not believe how many people...
Demo as in, like, explosive demolitionist?
Yep. So, what they did in Fallout 76 was we used to have big guns, like beginning the demolitionist builds would like we used to could stack, like, basically have the demo perk. We would have the demo perk as well as, like, what is it? So we'd have the demo perk. We would have big weapons perks. So our explosive damage and stuff would deal like 100% more. But, like, this is Fallout. We have a power fantasy. You know what I mean? What are you gonna hate on us for? But I can just... That's why a lot of my older weapons are explosive weapons, and then I just moved my heavy weapons off this character. That's why I want to see what the Tesla cannon does. Because if the Tesla cannon... Now, I want to know what the range on the Tesla cannon is. Quite honestly.
You're obsessed with this Tesla cannon?
What? It was one of my favorites in 3. Why? That's right, you hated Fallout 3, so you do not know what a Tesla cannon is.
I probably picked it up and left it in my inventory, to be honest. I literally only played bats in that game.
So...
Because, like, on the console, on the Xbox, aiming was horrible. It was god-awful.
So, here's the thing about the Tesla cannon. Tesla cannon is... It looks like a rocket launcher, but it basically shoots like gauze bolts or electric bolts. Like shoulder-mounted rockets, which... But it was like a giant sniper in Fallout 3. And you only got it from Enclave troops, and you could only get it so often. It looks like it's like a Batman launcher, but it lobs basically electrified plasma energy at people.
Okay.
But the only downside is, I know in Fallout 76, everything has elemental resistance. So, take it for what it's worth. And if it's too good...
That sounds horrible.
If it's basically... What's going to happen is, if it's too strong, as the Cremator was, it's just going to get nerfed down. Basically. It's because the Cremator does... Got the build fixed, though. It does not... It's at least it's not a horrible, like... I've seen worse. Like, when people have basically, like... What they do is... I've seen more people get really pissed off about the... Like... What people don't realize is... At least it's not like going in one day and then realizing that your build got entirely nerfed into the ground. Like, For God's sakes, I still remember in this game when they nerfed explosive weaponry when they left like, bloody builds just running around the world for, like, how many years. They're like, oh, bloody builds are bad. Well, yes, there's a problem. Fix it. I mean, what can I say?
What can you say?
Yeah, but this character's my OG character, though. I mean, I like it how mutated events are now. I love how it's basically now, like, their standard. But I'm curious about the raid. I'm pretty sure 4-star items are not broken. Okay. Nah. So I'm curious because a lot of the weapons they buffed though are like the weapons that we were using, but they probably had to do a lot of balance updates too. Like enemies will scale to 100, so but what's funny is rifles that aren't commando don't usually have this issue. Like usually VATS builds are probably way up there. So now I should ask though, Ted, when you go see, are you gonna bring your Sonichu medallion with you to see Sonic 3?
Oh, no such one.
What?
I own no such one.
The Sonic.
You have to buy me one.
You don't know what? You know Sonichu is superior to Sonic?
I'm aware of that Christian thick style.
It's so wrong.
You know,
There is so much wrong.
there is a link between autism and the Sonic community. I'm convinced.
There's a lot of furries in the community. Like, are we the actual autistic community? Are we you just hate your own kind at this point?
I don't really think I'm autistic, to be honest. Like, when I've seen as much shit people pull and they're allegedly normal, I'm like, I
Wow.
can't be autistic. Like, I'm convinced. Like, and then, like, the misdiagnosis for autism, like,
Really?
yeah, it's like 70%, isn't it? So,
I'm just curious, by the way, no one ever talks about the major link between autism and non-binary people and all this other stuff that was on the rise, and you're like, well, are you sure that that's just not a coincidence? That never happened?
I think people convince themselves they're different. I think that's a big thing, too. Like, I like to think I'm normal, and, you know, all the
Okay.
associate with
Okay, I'm gonna
normal.
ask, I'm gonna have to go for this. What's normal to you, sir?
Not being a weirdo, creep, psychopath, furry, or non-binary.
Mm-hmm. Now,
Like,
do you
normal is you're a straight male who basically is looking to get a career in a stable field and have a wife and kids. That's normal.
Okay. Fair. So that's normal to you. I understand. So so
I'd figure
uh
out
the
kind
the
of
so the
define
stuff
it.
happening on Blue Sky is not normal.
I don't even know what Blue Skies is.
I'll say Blue Sky is a Twitter alternative where there's a bunch of leftoids that basically are reporting each other now for their and they all have various fetishes.
Yeah, that's not normal.
What? It's not normal? No, look. It's gonna be your kids. They're gonna be like, I've actually seen this meme around, which is really funny, but people don't realize how true it is. And it's like, America and family in 2040. And it's a kid talking to mom and dad. I'm dating a lovely girl. What is she? She's a biological female. What?
How dare you?
Oh, so who are now the parents go, oh, so the parents go, who are they? No, it's a she. She's an actual girl. The parents are looking at their child like the child's a mutant. It's like, oh, get it? It's like, huh, interesting, right? Like, yeah, it's not demeaning people, but it's like, dear God, think of the standards in the cringe from like years ago. I
I mean,
remember.
with how many young people voted for Trump this time around, I think we're in a safe.
At least better sit lucky. Lucky in that regard, I guess.
I mean, I just think like it just shows that the mind
You're
control brainwash bullshit doesn't work.
we were just lucky this time, to be honest.
What, that they didn't cheat again?
Well, to be fair, I mean, it goes beyond that. It's like there is a lot of people still lost in that generation. So take it for what it's worth. If you don't think they're lost, let me convince you. You cannot convince me.
I mean, I don't think there's a drop in voters for the Democrats. I just think, like, you know, they're louder than they appear.
Vocal minority?
Yeah. And they're trying to psych everybody into believing that they're the majority opinion.
Vocal minority has always been a thing. Let me tell you otherwise.
I think the election validates the belief that they're full of shit. That everybody doesn't believe the way that they do. And that they're the actual minorities, even though they say they're not.
Well, to be fair, if you look at the study that happened, they were. It told you they were.
Another Marrow band?
Get good.
Let's go.
Look,
I can stack this shit now. I'm actually excited.
I think though, right. The idea though is it's not that depending on you didn't think that they're the vocal minority, but it's real. Like no one really cared. It's like there's a lot of people who are just crazy. But there's also a lot of people who are like, we need to reopen the institutions. So
What I don't get is the people who are on the left that think that their voice is being silenced, or that they should be scared of their Republican counterparts for their opinions. And my brother was like, he was reluctant to tell me that he voted for Kamala, and I'm just like, I'm not.
wow. Wow. No, no. It's their voters that are like, we are going to vote for because you've. You know how many people I have seen that
Like, it's your vote in the end of the day. Why should my opinion about your vote matter? Like, I get, like, it's uncomfortable to share with someone that has a different opinion than you, but, like, you need to realize, like, if they don't respect your vote, their opinion is worthless.
Well, I'm of a person. I mean, we live in this pretty much near the same area, but like, dude, like, look, I don't care. Most of us are moderate Republicans. Like,
Yeah.
I've seen people with shit takes before, and I'm like, I'm like, do you not think that this isn't normal?
Like, people will argue against you because this area is, like, basically...
I've never. Okay.
Conservative
The-
stronghold, but, like...
The only people I find who are absolutely angry around here are the fucking liberal people.
Yeah.
They are fucking like, God, I've seen
They're the
one.
ones always trying to stir shit up.
No, I've seen them. They are the most unhinged people, and they look it too. Like,
It's just sad, though. Like, they were telling people not to go to Thanksgiving this year.
no, okay. We live in north central Texas, for people who don't understand. Very moderate. But what happens is, our area is full of people who work or they go out to other areas. So I am streaming to watch what you say sometimes. But like, these people, we get these weird wing jobs when you get on discussion. They are crazy. They're like the Karen types. Like, I've seen one every so often. They look like the Twitter blue. Because there was a guy, that I've talked to the guy. He was literally, I asked him, I'm like, so Kamala, you go for them? Oh. Understand. I'm just like, I ask why. I go, can you name me one good policy she's done?
There isn't a good policy.
Nope. I'm like, well, there we go. And you look at the crazy person. You can just see them walk around here like they're a couple of fries short of a Happy Meal. It's like,
Yeah.
I ain't
Like,
fucking with him. No, they're good.
My brother prides himself on being a libertarian, so I'm trying to wrap this around in my head. And I'm just like, I've
A
accepted...
libertarian?
Yeah.
A libertarian? That's...
Yeah, I just accept that he's a never-Trumper because he's been psychologically coerced into, like, thinking Trump is bad and he doesn't have effective policies.
Well, to be fair, I wouldn't say Trump's perfect, but, like...
No man's infallible.
Like, but man... And we have more never-Trumpers here, like, than it shows, right?
Or they're at least vocal about it a lot more than...
They're moderate just because you have a lot of moderate Republicans doesn't mean they rubber stamp Trump, but there's a lot of people who don't trust what he does. Like, it's, but then again, they don't trust Ted Cruz, but the motherfuckers will vote for Ted Cruz repeatedly. And they won't primary him. And I'm like, well, but then again, it was either him or a black man put into place by the National Democrats to get the state.
The guy from Washington who claimed he was a Texas native.
Wrong. Nice try. And I'm like, but the people who are actual, like, loud liberals here, they're like church mice around here.
Yeah, and they act like Texas is like some horrible state. And it's
No!
really not.
No, man. Like, people would kill to live in communities like ours around here. Like, about the docks where you live, but dude, we live in an area where, I mean, I could leave something valuable outside, it never gets stolen. Because we have a high trust community. Like, I think that's what. I think they're like, now, if we go about 3 miles another direction, we would say that now, would we? We don't talk about, going near, like, Louisville.
Even Louisville's kind of nice. Like, it's not like as good as Flower Mound, but I've lived in the outer fringes of Louisville. I never felt like it was particularly bad.
I don't know.
Like you know where Garden Ridge is, right?
Yeah.
I lived on my dad had a house rented there, and
Off Garden Ridge.
Yeah, the Garden Ridge Elementary School.
Yeah.
So, like, that's still part of Louisville.
I mean, Flower Mountain, you have to understand, it's pretty big. Because, like, the way it is, it actually goes out almost all the way to Texas Motor Speedway. But, like, by the way, I do not know how they're going to build those. It's quiet neighborhood.
I just like this self-hate that is so present with Americans is obnoxious.
You don't see that here. The only people you see, like, the most radical people I actually see around here are the weirdos that work at the Starbucks that are, like, the trans people or the non-binary people, and I'm like, okay. I'm not...
No wonder they hate Texas.
but I am not going to have a political discussion with them.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
No, half those people is when you see them walk around, the alternative girls, like, I've seen some that are pretty hot.
Ugh.
But they are, like, they just, they are not conservative. They work at like a Starbucks or they do something weird and artsy, and it's like, some of them are so nice. I've also seen, like, go look at any Starbucks around us. Those people are not they don't hire conservatives.
Yeah, they don't.
They really...
No one's gonna go to a Starbucks and join it as a conservative. It's just not gonna happen.
I don't know if that was a hiring policy or that was a decision.
I don't think it's a hiring policy. It's like it's a work attitude. Like, who's conservative and wants to work at a Starbucks?
I mean, for God's sakes. I mean, you know how many people I see that go to your church that just go to the place nearby, the Starbucks nearby? They just, you know, at Starbucks, some of those people give me a heebie-jeebies. It's not the workers, it's the people that go there. Literally, they're working on their little iPad Chromebooks and shit. And I'm like... Then again, that's weird. We don't have many places to meet up around here. At least that god-awful parking garage looks like it's finally finished. It actually looks...
They don't have to bus people from a different city.
It actually looks nice. Now I'm curious what's in that underground facility.
The dark secrets of what they did to Jesus Christ.
Dude, somehow they got a bottom floor in that. Supposedly they're trying to build warehouses out here. I'm like, how are you gonna build Amazon-style warehouses? I'm like, fuck.
What's crazy about Texas is just like the fact that there's no basements in Texas.
Well, the problem is look. The problem is they thought they could build a parking garage. Well, they built a parking garage in a parking lot. Then they put a floor underneath the ground. and apparently it's garaged off.
How does that? How does that get past the inspection though?
It did, because they
Yeah,
dug out a
but
crater. They dug a crater out to fucking build that thing.
Oh, they took out the sediment. Okay.
They built a crater to build that place. Thought you knew that.
The thing is, though, is like in Texas, the sediment is like really soft. So when you get a tremor or something, it basically fucks up any basement. So they must have got somebody who knew what they were doing.
Well, part of it's any year the old utilities. I mean, to be fair, like I would expect Flower Mound honestly to like pretty soon we're just gonna have these weird Amazon style warehouses like everywhere. But where we live though, it's like you can live in one city, but you could be like a stone throw away from another. You know?
I guess.
You just be thankful you don't have to go to Louisville or Highland Village. You know?
I do have to go for alcohol.
Really?
Yeah, they don't let you drink anything but wine in Flower Mound.
That's a lie. You can find beer and alcohol. Come on. Now,
I guess beer would pass because it.
now
it's under the,
if we're gonna go to the very, now if we're gonna,
shit like vodka. I
bro,
don't even know.
bro, if you're gonna go to the uppity side towards Grapevine, in the mid cities where, that's actually
That's
how,
so far away though.
bro, that's actually how far Flower Mound snakes out. If you never realize it, Louisville and Highland
Yeah,
Village
I
are
just
both
don't
landlocked.
Like I don't like crossing the dam. That's like my.
Look, by where you,
personal limit.
you know, by where you work, you're in the hoity-toity part of Flower Mound.
The hoity-toity.
Yeah, you're near Flower Mound High. It's near Flower Mound High School. No shit.
The But
I'm not
hang
gonna
on.
go
the
into
only
that
time
one.
the only time I cross the dam is to get to a doctor's office. I don't like crossing that dam.
To be fair, not a lot of us want to go to the mid cities because. Actually, I saw of a game store that opened up that looked good. It's on 26, but if you know the horror stories of 26, dear God, I wouldn't want to. You gotta go down
So like
more.
the fight of '87.
Fuck. Do you know where 114 is?
Nah, I don't know street addresses too well.
Okay, do you know well past Grapevine Mills, the major highway that goes out to Fort Worth? It's LBJ, but it's 114.
I usually go west when I go to Fort Worth, so no.
So 114 that runs from DFW to Fort Worth, right? That's why a lot of people who live in our area, like they're 30 minutes from the airport, but at the same time, it's hellish. 26 that goes to the mid cities is a very long road that goes through Grapevine down towards North Richland Hills in that area. It's a 2-lane, it's like a 6-lane road total, but like a bunch of traffic lights. I'm like, dear God, that's like 45 minutes there and back. Like, if I ever needed cards or anything from Ben. But I'd rather still deal with them. It's almost easier to go up to Denton. But everywhere around here is driving, though. You know? I mean, you gotta understand, everything is driving going there, though. Around here, though.
Yeah, but that's just Texas in a nutshell. If you don't have a car, you're fucked in Texas.
True. and not going to allow public transportation.
It's just the nature of the environment, though. Like, public transportation just wouldn't adapt well to Texas, no matter how many people say it will.
Oh, don't say that. You know, they put the Dark Light Rail all the way to. They got the Dark Light Rail all the way from Grapevine to Grapevine all the way to Fort Worth. No,
Good for them.
took them years,
It's
but
just like, you know, public transportation works in cities because everything.
it doesn't work. It doesn't work in suburbs.
Yeah, it's too spread out. Like, you're gonna have like what, 1,000 different bus stops? That's not practical.
Have you seen how stingy they are with the dart, dart transports around here?
I've
Literally,
never used one, but I used to use a transportation system that UNT offered, and they ended it because it was just not practical. No one used it.
well, yeah. I wonder why.
Yeah, it's as if like driving around is just the more practical option.
Yeah, but shit, I can't say anything. I grew up in Denton. I mean, I got used to mostly walking unless you just lived in the bum suburbs,
Yeah, the only thing I like walking around for is going to Market Street and walking the Riverwalk, because like it's not a far walk, and I actually like getting the lakes moving every now and then.
Well, okay, yeah, you like that one versus the other. It's like, let's be clear here. You're like, yeah, tell me when you see that monstrosity that is the Riverwalk. Do you somehow think, what was the area around Irving where the stallions are? Las Colinas. I'm like, I'm like, who's gonna go into that space?
The Riverwalk?
Yeah.
Well, I would imagine it doesn't get a lot of attention right now, because like it doesn't really have anything there. But they do plan on opening up a what is it called? Like a market center. They're like gonna build it next to it. So like the Riverwalk will be the scenic piece, and then they're gonna have a market area nearby.
I know that's the plan. Do they know how much traffic they're doing? Try to get to that? Really?
It is what it is. I'm interested to see how it'll play out, though. They have a garage there already.
Yeah, they're like miniature city. Like, I mean, what? It's like you could say like Denton's like a college town at heart. But dear God, like, what do you think Flower Mound is? I mean, like these people. I mean, I'm not trying to be mean about it, but shit's still there. I think it's like, but it's up there at that point. Like, if you're thinking about a suburban city, because what, you can do the whole convention center thing. I mean, I don't know. It's suburbs different than cities, but I mean, our traffic is still bad. I mean, but in reality, you could still clean up areas. But the same way, I'll be very honest, you can't take the drug use and other shit out of the place.
Yeah, that's up to Trump to deal with. Him fighting the drug cartels is probably the only thing that would make a positive change on that.
I don't think that would help an area like ours. Our area has our own issues. I mean, the problem with North Central Texas is we're one giant suburb cities put together. Like where we are, like You know, Louisville, parts of like severe cities are just crazy at that rate. Like, it's kind of insane the way it works. I mean, so let's say with this whole immigration, I am so curious how the immigration policy is going to work.
I would imagine it would work like last time, which was good.
You mean
Like
it?
the don't let illegals through, set up camps outside of America that would allow people to citizenship in if they are determined enough. Also provide them asylum if they use the right methods, and then be strict when they break the rules.
Yeah, but it's so funny. You actually would think that they Democrats would be the first to potentially deal with human trafficking, but they're not going to deal with human trafficking.
They like they kept claiming that Trump like shot the bill and whatever. You know why he did that, right? It was because like when it came down to it, the bill was focused more on alleviating restrictions to just make the entire illegal process legal.
Well, the problem is, we literally have a broken immigration policy that is meant to work on stuff that's smaller than what we have. It just doesn't work that way. So we just can't allow people. But like,
I think the whole point is we need to determine if our immigration policy is wrong or right, but we can't sabotage it like they were doing. Like, I agree, like, maybe let's talk about it, but, like, they need to also not jeopardize their entire system if they don't get their way on it.
why wouldn't they blow up their own system for the sake of?
Yeah, it's dumb. I hate it.
Why? Well, what would shock you about it? I could told you they do that.
It's just annoying to me. It's just like, we're so eager to sabotage our own systems just for the sake of getting one over on
You
our
forget that.
office.
You think of the wrong people. That's because I don't sometimes view modern Democrats as modern Democrats, but
Well, it's kind of hard to want to call them modern Democrats when they've gone so far away from their original goals.
oh,
Because, like, you know, even the union workers were questioning whether they should vote for Kamala or not. And that should tell you something. Like, the union workers is what the Democrats love claiming that they're the root, that's their roots.
well,
They didn't seem very happy this time around.
you mean
Like,
you just have to understand it's totally normal to basically do that.
I just think it's dumb. Like, you know, I won't really complain about Trump because, in all honesty, I look over his policies when people tell me he's bad or wrong, and I just like I can't help but agree with them.
Look,
I
the
I
problem
don't
the problem with
I
a
guess
lot of
that's my
these
problem
people,
with
let
them.
me say this. There is a delusional system, and it's like I deal with people who hate Eric Delia and stuff. Yeah, you can find parts like I guess is anyone shocked like with Biden or them, like all people have bad things they do.
Hmm.
Like Trump's worst problem in his first presidency is It's not like he was the accidental president versus I'm gonna be honest, he just did not know how to rule. I mean, if he knew, it'd been better. He was literally the he was the "you're fired" president, quite literally. Like,
well, they put so many the Republican rhinos were successful in like putting in so many people that would just sabotage him. So he had to clean house mid presidency.
what you think choosing JD Vance isn't a trap because JD Vance was a never Trumper?
Yeah, but I think that's the point. Is like he was a never Trumper that came around. It's a good advertising thing.
Well,
Trump was reluctant on him. He was like worried that it might backfire, and he's like happy with the result.
to be fair though, the assassination attempt on him surviving, was actually what unified a lot of the people who would have been never Trumpers against him. So bear in mind that actually, I'm going to be curious how long that actually lasts. But to be fair, the most contentious thing I've seen Trump say so far he's going to do, it's actually it's not his immigration as much as I've heard more lying about the tariffs than I have anything else. Like, the tariffs, yeah, they could hurt in the short term, but like, what if you actually think about it, what do we get from China? Or like, what does China get from us? Like, they're mainly exporting. So
yeah, it's gonna hurt, but it needs to happen.
And I mean, you can talk about the trade war with a trade deficit all day, but the thing about it is, the trade war, you know, that's a whole different trade. And you got these people who are don't understand. But China is also smart enough. Anyone can't just look at China and say China's going to sit over there and just sit on their loins for like how long? And
they're having economic issues themselves. They'll have to respond somehow.
well, to be fair, that seems part of their own issues, though. Like, you're talking about a group of people who have their own issues. I put it at, like, China is, well, it's not that they're in a bad shape versus they can be worse.
They're teetering on a economic collapse. It's just a matter of like when and how and will it actually happen.
Well, there's also the haves and the have-nots.
And there's a lot of people who don't have jobs there. There's like a work crisis. There's also like, just like the youth don't feel confident in their future, and that may lead to public unrest.
Well, I mean,
a lot of issues going on.
The irony is, Ghost in the Shell, like Standalone Complex, predicted that a long time ago.
It does sound like a Ghost in the Shell kind of
message. No, Ghost in the Shell. What's funny is Standalone Complex had like the prediction that China's CCP would fall apart from like basically an internal revolution. But That's also the reason I don't think the Chinese would go to, like, look, I think Xi Jinping wants a world war, potentially, to, like, prop his economy up or do something. Like,
I don't think he'd want a world war, but he definitely.
I think he wants a war. I think he wants a proxy war. Very
Yeah,
much.
over the South China Sea.
I think he really does. But here's the problem is, as well, with his stuff, is we do not know how fragile a lot of economies are. What would happen in reality if...
Well, and we're not positioned for it either, because like a lot of the Biden presidency was destabilizing our alliance network. So we're at a bad position on the international field, and we run the risk of causing trouble or getting ourselves trapped in an international issue if we don't play our cards right.
Well, the problem still is going to occur. Are you going to physically... Thing is, are you physically going... It's like China... See, the further China gets away from trying to get rid of, not take Taiwan, the harder it is going to be on them. They can't do it.
I think they've been, like, the whole point of them with the whole South China Sea is to cut off Taiwan in one direction. And the east side, they can't really do anything about, but they're getting alliance networks in the, like, around the South China Sea, and I think hopes of cutting the U.S. off from Taiwan eventually. I think that's like their end goal with the whole whatever they're doing in the South China Sea is to like cut off the west half, and then they just have to work on the east path or east side at some point.
I mean, to be fair, to be fair, I mean, have you ever heard of the theory that, like, one of them, like, their whole plan was to basically take troop carriers or, like, converted cargo ships and basically slam them into the shore to, like, get the troops in quick? But there's no way that China could this is why I'm saying, realistically, I think China could become an enemy and a threat down the line, but I think it's going to be hard, because does China want to be the one that starts be responsible for fucking over chip production? And that's a big question they gotta ask themselves. And if that's the case, you gotta understand, it's not like we're perfect in the terms of our own production. Fog. Why is there so many? There's a lot of fog. Someone killed the Mirelurks here. Well, I forget how much of this game is just like a honey-do list and waiting for events. Though this is the closest game I ever get to playing, like, MMO, a true MMO. Didn't nerf my build too bad. I feel worse for the people who actually did have their builds entirely destroyed. Oh, fuck you. I do not want to deal with that queen. Not the moment.
I do think though that overall, like China's like beating us in a
Well,
arms
the
race
the
of like recent battleships, and we need to upgrade our
no,
fleet.
we do, but they aren't as good as they.
I do believe that. I just think like we need to start taking our navy
There,
seriously
you
more.
heard it. What we do, we need to update it anyways. We should always update it.
Hmm.
But the problem itself is, like when you're starting to get into it, like you didn't hear about the nuclear sub. Like some of their technology is good, but some of it's really bad. Like they have a hard time, like with what is it? Like they tried to do a nuclear sub, and it literally sank in the harbor.
Yeah, it's not. Sounds
Like,
like us with ignoring certain things for us. Like we had an issue where our nuclear launch codes were on floppy disks still.
well, no, you know why a lot of old technology is on old? Like certain stuff is on like that?
Because like it's hard to update stuff without it going wrong. You have to take it with immense care, right?
Because retro technology is less destroyed by a nuclear device than
Oh, you mean like EMP kind of shit?
eh, even though you could say like electromagnetism, like that's what's funny is if you've ever seen anything, talk to anybody who's ever been near silo command position, that shit is literally archaic for a reason. Like it's meant to be like older technology that is meant to not be EMP proof. Like take a look at a game like Fallout, like in our like even like stuff. Like why do they only have wax disc or 50 style technology outside the fact that that's how the world was roughly designed?
Well, to be fair,
You
Fallout's
would
kind of going for the old fashioned
well,
aesthetic.
to be fair, it the difference between in Fallout, right, in the universe versus ours, is they didn't. There was a separate evolution from post World War II, which, but in our times, if nuclear war happened, we would lose a lot of data and a lot of stuff just due to computers being destroyed or something to a degree of magnetic drives or something would be entirely wiped out. Like that's why one of the greatest fears ever is actually like anyone who is invading the US preemptively, like the idea is you light off a like if you want to do first strike against the US and they know this is a real thing, you light a what is basically a EMP off on the coast or something. It might not be a full nuclear device, it's enough to cause an EMP. And then you wind up literally causing, like, we're talking, we're talking bad. Like, it's not like the Chinese, like, it's command. Fun games I like is Command and Conquer Generals, but Command and Conquer Generals cannot be done today. But one of the funny things that predicted the Chinese, and they kind of did this, they went into what was basically hacking, EMPs, tactical nukes. But at the same time, US, we know a lot of our missiles and ground work. But in reality, it's also the point of we have to train our personnel because you don't want to be like the Russians. Like, the idea is, it's like all the Russians and the Chinese will say we have missiles, they have missiles. We go, we have missiles that can take out a carrier or something. But no one believes them. Because you're assuming that a lot of the technology that they're talking about, if it exists, no one ever says hypersonic is absolute bullshit. No one has ever seen. And what's scary is we actually do not know how quick a modern war would be. A modern war would be very devastating in the short term. Like, give people an idea, you an idea.
Yeah.
Naval war now would be like, how do you... I mean, I know you've seen in games, right, how they do it. Like, or exercises of sorts. Missiles, right? You could lose an entire ship to a missile strike. Because... or something to a degree. Compared to old style warfare. Let's assume China, let's say, they want to engage the U.S. in operations. Prime example, right? You know where a fleet is. You have, what? Roughly 5. You got 10 minutes. You got less than that. If someone's firing a missile that's going like, what is it, Mach 6, Mach 4 even, that's how quick a battle goes. You know what I mean? Let's assume it's an anti-ship ballistic missile battery. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could lose an entire, like, a mini fleet in, like, what? Minutes, if you didn't know what you were doing. Why do you think the Russians, they just parked that cruiser, the state-of-the-art Orsini, off, but someone either sold off the parts or they didn't realize that the missile defense batteries that were there could target the ship? And it's like, but U.S. should be a wake-up call for a lot of them, or a lot of us even, because of the things. Because that is a realistic thing. Where you're talking about modern, yeah, we don't know what one looks like. And the thing is, I don't think a war like that would go good for China, because the fact that, well, what's funny is a lot of their officers are not battle tested.
Yeah,
but
they have the home field advantage, though. The thing is, like, their resources to operate equipment is so much more intensive now that it would be more difficult to deal with China when we're so far away from them. Like, we have an advantage in, like, the Japan sector of Asia. But,
well, I don't think Japan would side. Well, I mean, the thing about it is, China would not go against. I mean, I don't think Japan would go against us.
Japan doesn't have to go against us or for us. They just have to let us keep operating our bases in Japan. That'd be the huge issue. I feel like they can stay out of the war themselves. They just need to let us like keep our bases.
Well, they are going to go after them themselves.
I don't think they have the military to. And it wouldn't go favorably in Japan, I think.
I disagree. Their defense forces have not been the most peaceful for years. What they call a defense force could still be good. A lot of people misunderstand.
I mean, I just don't see it like it's more their military is more oriented around defending their homeland than to expand its influence across the seas. It just would be like a I guess we'd have to see though. All right, let me travel back to my smuggler. I need to see what loot I left for myself from other classes. Alright, let's see. Waldswin's flame speaker looks like it'd be for a demolitionist. Spirit cannon. +2 to necromancer and shaman. Well, it really wants me to play necromancer shaman. Let's see. Nope. Salt core bolter. Brute force static. Okay. Vindictive codex of truth. Holy shit. Codex of truth. Truth is like a purifier's wet dream. Thunder touched. Tentacle. Soul harvest dread. I'll keep that in inventory. That looks like it could be good. +1 to all necromancers. That'd be good.
Yeah, doing that tree the other day. Yeah, doing that tree. I had to go do that tree the other day. It wasn't good.
Tree. What tree?
Oh, I had a tree fall off. Branch of a damn tree fall off. It was not.
Oh, that's lovely.
Oh, yeah. Okay. And then
What do you want happening to your...
No, I just... Oh, God. Just doing it when it's subtly cold. That's the part that's bad. And And then I got like this. I got like the shit going on. Like it's, you know, it's more or less the part where you are like either sicker or just last thing I need is like a cold.
Interesting. Alright, so that'll be good to have.
Yeah.
Is this Will of the Crypt thing the thing? Or no, it's Undead Legion. Okay. Undead Legion. Wow, they do not like buffing Undead Legion. Let's see though. Summon limit.
You know what? You're just, you know,
What?
wow, you just like to play like, it's just play an actual Necromancer in Diablo versus Grim Dawn. You know,
I'm just trying to get an achievement. He's
oh,
not going to be a long-term character.
wow.
Well, it will be a long-term character. I just won't.
Now, Grim Dawn is at least better than Path of Exile. Let's be clear.
Path of Exile 1, I definitely agree. I'll have to see what Path of Exile do.
Uh-huh.
Let's see the summon characters.
What do you mean?
There's certain gear in the game that will let you summon things. I'm just looking them over.
Oh,
So-
you're just trying to platinum the game, I understand.
I'm trying to what?
I said you're just trying to platinum the game.
It just seems like an easy achievement to do. I don't know if I'd be able to platinum. There's a whole... It has way too many achievements.
I would
I find that a bit annoying.
really.
Like, there's like 180.
Wow. I'm sure there's a guide.
No, I bet there is.
I do love how people don't understand what a resilient mod is. Eh.
Alright, I think I got the relevant gear from my shared loot.
I am very curious how many people forget in Fallout 76. You know what counts as a melee attack? Gun butts.
What counts as a melee attack?
Gun butts.
I don't even know what that is.
Gun butting. Wow.
You mean like hitting someone with your gun?
Yep. These people don't understand. If you don't have a melee weapon, you know what you do? You gun butt.
Yeah.
Come on. And again, I guess in Fallout they think they're only VATS.
Well, they probably just never buff it.
Well, see, one of the mutated modifier is called resilient. So the only way these things die is if they get like meleeed, okay? Very simple. Guns have gun butts, and you just got the smart people are running around with either baseball bats or chainsaws. Which we do.
That's the smart people. Let's go.
At least for this event.
I'll be back in a second.
Yes. One of the best weapons in this game is actually a flaming chainsaw. Believe it or not. I got lucky and got this one a long time ago. I'll be done with this before the week is up. One day. Because if all we have to do is collect teddy bears and that shit this week. Visit my shelter 5 times. 30 mole rats. Not mole rats, but mole miners. That's a miner. 5 teddy bears. 9 teddy bears total. But that's pretty easy. It's a standard collection day for me. I don't know. Game's definitely smoother outside of me having to actually change out gear, like figure it out, you know. Just I'm irritated about that. It's just it's weird. It's more or less the weird part is in some seasons, it definitely feels better than last season. I mean, are they going to address the economy that they broke? No idea. I mean, I think the changes in the cards are fine. I mean, like, travel, it's fine. I mean, gotta be really careful. There's usually a Yagwai here. Unless someone's killed it. Huh? Did yeah. It's one of the weird things I collect in this game. I collect teddy bears. So one day the dream is to actually just set up a display with them. You find them. The thing is, they usually spawn random. A lot of people just break them down for things. Where's the other one? It's usually no one goes and gets. No one gets the other. So far, at least the new. And then again, this character really wasn't screwed over much. To be fair, right? This character's my first character that I have, like, a lot of my stuff advanced on. So. There we go. build a wall or a roof in a camp, workshop or camping free camp. I mean, I feel like killing the mole miners is more of a difficult, but this is still definitely a lot of weapons. You can just kind of tell they messed with them. I don't get the whole name tag system. Then again, if people want to be cringe, they can be cringe. People are cringe in this game more than it looks. Believe it or not. I sometimes just look at people in this game and I wonder what their aesthetics are. Then you just realize either why they're doing it or they just do it for show. And it's just weird. And you realize some people just go for meme looks, depending on the time of year. Which often is more enough, I find. But outside the whole fact, you can see most of the weapons, like VATS, got increased, but a lot of these weapons never really got nerfed. Oh, but we can have explosive plasma now, though, and I have one on me. I need to test that thing. Which, that's funny. I didn't think that was possible anymore. But details on that. Yeah, but this character doesn't have much it needs to achieve, though. This is just my character for Demolition. It's my first character, which, to be fair, is as old as the beta itself. I just never decided to power level at some point. All in all, it looks decent. I mean, Enclave military fatigues. I swear this is a reissue, but there's an older one version of this. There's an older version of that. See, last season was a lot of, no, that is cool. This is only Fallout First stuff, though. That's good. Now that is in the Atomic Shop for like very expensive. But it's funny, that's part of the pass. That is kind of cool, though. See, this is 100. Here is just if you get that far. Anyways. I will probably call it here. And switch over to Diablo 4 and suffer a little bit. But I am a person who made me help me level some stuff. But it's also cold, so I don't know. My verdict is, so far it's good. The changes in the cards are actually good. Like, it's hard to describe. The only downside is you're having to shift stuff into endurance. But it's also a lot of the stuff we use agility or luck for. Like, I think the only thing you're going to see out of agility characters is, like, close. Because that's a really big change. Like, some of those are ones, obviously. I'll have to see about that on the other characters. Because some of my other characters, like, she is... But that also changes what we use agility for. But that all my characters are usually high endurance because I'm always on Juggernaut. So, anyways, I'll have to do more exploration into that. But a lot of my weapons got buffed, especially when I want to go VATS with, like, one character I have is VATS. VATS big weapons. So it's good. To see though, and the game's actually smooth. A lot smoother than normal. Now there's still some issues, like if you have 10 players near you. Sure. Anyways, I will catch people another day. But so far, a stamp of approval. Looks better than last season at least. So. But last season was mostly prefabs though.